Yeah, welcome back. The show is still Perspective, and I have with me in the not in the studio, on phone, I have with me Mr. Dr. Enitan Jejelola Awojobi. He is a clinical psychologist, and today we're going to be talking so much about rape, all about psychology of the rapist and the psychological effect on the raped. Oh, Mr. Enitan, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Inka. Yeah. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for being a part of the show, because on this my show, we just have tiny little time to touch everything and bits. So we're going to be doing this very, very quickly, as much as we can, so that we can cover a lot. Now, we know that when rape occurs, people are quick to ask questions about what she's wearing, why they're in a relationship, what connection the rapist has got with the raped, and they tend to forget the fact that someone actually has been sexually abused here. Now, it is more likely that people are trying to unravel the psychology of the rapist. Several cases have happened in this, in this part of the world recently. You find that it's happening in the church. It even happened to somebody putting on hijab. Now, leaving all that apart, what do we talk about a 3-year-old child being raped? Can you just tell me, we want to understand this morning what the psychology of the rapist is?
Okay, thank you very much for having me, Inka.
It's a pleasure.
Actually, one of the reasons nationwide and indeed globally at this time.
Okay.
And rape is condemnable.
Okay.
It's something that everyone should put their energy into. Ensure doesn't happen, doesn't continue in our society. So the psychology of the rapist is within the purview of mental health.
Okay.
And it's one of the areas of mental health where the perpetrators do not have any excuse, because often than not, the psychological issue or the psychological reaction that we are seeing in the rape behavior is to be honest, within the energy or the power of the rapist to control. For instance, one of the things that induces rape and the rape or sexual offensive behavior is alcoholism.
Okay.
You find out that a lot of rapists are found to be high on substance abuse. All manners of marijuana in their nicotine, alcohol, etc. So these are drugs that induces them to behave in a way they either wouldn't have if they never took those drugs. And of course, some of these also are dysfunctions in families. Found out that a lot of men are raised in a way to see themselves as aggressors of women. So they believe that, there's this belief, there's this myth around that says when a woman says no, she means yes. That's one of the huge or the big drivers of the rape behavior. And of course, there is peer group. Basically, you have peer pressure among boys, among men, that pushes them towards abusing the female gender in the majority. I mean, this is not to take away the fact that, of course, rape does occur between women and men, but of course, predominantly it's a thing between men and women. And then one of the psychological factors that we have identified that drives the rape culture is, of course, the porn culture. You would realize that some 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I was growing up, it was a very secretive thing for people to either watch porn or read porn magazines and all that. But you find that now, porn is readily available on the internet. It's one of the fears that when young people go blind, we try to shield them against. But the reality is that porn is heavily available online as we speak. So just as a way of introduction, those are some of
the psychological, the psychology of the rapist rather.
Yes, absolutely.
So let me just, if I heard you clearly, in summary, it could be effect of drug, it could be a decadence in the upbringing, and it could be the society. I think that's what you're saying. And it could be a thing of ego also.
Yes, there is also the perspective around ego is that men typically believe in the society that they have power over. So it's a case of men feeling, or boys and men feeling that why would she tell me no? Why? So it's a psychology of aggression that is actually cross-cultural. Actually, it's not only in Nigeria, to be honest. It's not only in Africa. We do have a very high incidence of rape, even in Western world. As I speak to you, up until 2 a.m. this morning, I was taking a client of mine through some therapy, and she's a survivor. She's a rape survivor. And indeed, she wasn't raped in this country. So, you find out that it's a global phenomenon, it's a cross-cultural thing. All of the issues we have listed here, alcoholism, the dysfunctional family, the myth around women relationship, peer pressure, and indeed the culture of watching porn, are all global phenomenon that we all need to deal with.
All right, thank you very much. Quickly, in just 1 minute, can you just tell us one or two psychological effect of the raped?
Oh, many. One of many psychological is anxiety. Rape victims, they are survivors. I like to call them survivors. They develop anxiety disorder that make them to be anxious about everything. It makes it difficult for them to live normal life. They develop depression. They develop self-blame. They have lack of motivation to seek help. They lack empathy with themselves. They isolate themselves. They are angry. They are aggressive. And of course, they develop moral behavior.
Okay.
The major psychological disorder that comes out of rape is called post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a big topic on its own, and I can tell you this is one of the reasons why society, we should find every means to ensure we silence the culture of rape.
Okay, quickly, before I let you go, do you think that the survivor ever gets healed?
Okay, so most humanity has psychological resilience. So most of the things we go through, we recover. I mean, maybe there's some little impact in our daily living and disturb our normal living, but most humanity will recover from it. But the reality is that there's a small number, a fraction of women who go through the experience of rape who would never recover from this experience. And that's the reason why we all should stand up against rape in the way and manner in which we train our men and women, in the way and manner in which we resist any report of or incidents of rape. And our judicial system, our governmental structures should do everything to combat the insane culture of rape.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Enitan Awojobi. Honestly, I wish I have more time to go on this discussion, but definitely I'm going to have you some other time. We'll need to talk about this extensively. I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. I would say that I learned much more than I have ever learned this morning. And I promise you that I'm going to bring Dr. Enitan again some other time to tell us more about this topic. I'm sorry this morning because I have so much on my plate to give to you. Like I said initially, I might not be able to take your calls.